You know, one of my early mentors was Quincy Jones, and I remember him saying to me once is that everybody says they know what a hit record is. He said, but you don't really know what a hit record is until the people tell you that it's a hit record. You can believe that, but until people actually like it, you wouldn't know that it is. The producer is the person, I would say, at the end of the day is responsible for delivering the product. I think it's the vision and the person who sees that vision through that can chart the course for whatever the thing is supposed to be in the end. Because that's a road that has a lot of twists and turns. And you know, if you don't have that person there, you could end up, you know, you could say you're going here and you end up over there. So that's what I would say the producer is. We've lost maybe a little bit of that in how the industry is now. I think technology has sort of level the playing field so much that everybody has access to everything. So what makes one person stand out above somebody else? And I think that comes back to that same thing. Who has the vision of what to do with the things, you know, so to get to the end result, that's the producer. I met Wyclef through KRS-One. I met Clef, and at the same time that I was working with him in the studio, a friend of mine was doing a remix on which Lauryn was rapping on. And at this time, before they were called the Fugees, they were the Translator crew. And Lauryn was coming. I didn't know Lauryn, I knew Wyclef, and I didn't really know them as a group. So this friend asked me to come into the studio. I go in the studio, and this little girl comes in with her backpack, and she has a little twists in, and she's like sitting down. She was in school at Columbia, doing her homework in the room, like very quiet, very respectful, but just very quiet. So, you know, this is like a real quote unquote thugged out hip hop session. So, you know, you got a bunch of guys in there and everybody's in a little cipher and trying to figure out their rhymes and they're getting new record. And the whole time she's sitting there quiet, just doing her homework. And she says, hey, you know, Brother G, when you're ready, just let me know. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know, looking at them, you know, and looking at her, I'm like, okay, so what is she gonna do with these guys? They're doing their little raps and they do their part and they got their stuff down. So I'm at the board and she says, okay, so you guys are ready for me? And they say, yeah, okay, yeah, no, go inside, L. So she goes, oh, okay, you know, she puts her bag down, puts her books down, and she walks into the room. So I go to the board, and I get the mic together, open up. I said, all right, so you ready? What do you want to do? She said, I don't know. Let's take it to the top and let me try something. I said, okay, cool. Take the song back, start it, and she starts freestyling. But she's freestyling and then singing in between the freestyle and sing. And the more she keeps going, it's blowing me away. But I noticed everybody in the room starts to get very timid and quiet. Now all of a sudden, all these tough thugs are all like, okay, sitting down. So when she finishes just her freestyle, she hasn't even done a verse. She just finishes her freestyle. So she's like, okay, so what you guys want me to do? Now all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, it's whatever you want to do. You know, it's like no one didn't even want to use their own verse. And she was so humble, but at the same time, her talent was so big that it filled up the whole room enough that it made everybody in the room not even want to rap anymore. Like they didn't even want to do what they were doing. They just actually wanted to go home. It's like they turned into like mice. You know, it's like she turned into the lion and they turned into mice. But we just struck a friendship up right there. And I said to myself that day, like, wow, whoever that girl is, she's special. And so that was my first connection with her, but we actually worked together on her project maybe a year after that. And that started a relationship where doing the Miseducation, but also doing other things. Like she worked on Santana's record. She did a record for Aretha Franklin, Rose is a Rose. And you know, I was a part of all those things. So I worked with her probably for about 4 years, pretty consistently after that. That album took about 1.5 years and it spanned, you know, we recorded in Jamaica at Bob Marley's house. So at Hope Road, which is now a museum, at that time, we got to use the studio. So tracks were cut there, tracks were cut in New York, tracks were cut in Miami, tracks were cut in London. I can't say that I knew that the Miseducation was gonna be, you know, the classic that it turned out to be. I did think it was special when we got towards the end of recording, and you know, I did think we were doing something important. I could have never seen that it would have been that. I mean, to this day, I mean, I don't think a day goes by that I don't hear that song somewhere, or someone asks me about her or asks me about that. And I could see now it's probably gonna be like that for the rest of my life, because it doesn't seem to, you know, it seems to have a new meaning every generation, because now I see this generation, the people that grasp it, there's things that they identify with in her songwriting. And I think really that's the testament of it. She's a great songwriter. It was an unbelievable process, a lot of pressure, because I was also A&R, so I was senior director of A&R at Columbia at the same time that I was doing that record, so I was getting pressure from both sides. But at the same time, you know, this amazing piece of art is coming together, so it definitely was trying, but you know, it was great to see the end result. Keep striving, keep the faith, keep believing, keep pushing, and keep thumping.